Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video. As you can see, I am not in my studio. I am here in Cape Cod, and I'm really excited to film this Vinyasa flow for you. When you are ready, have a seat on your mat and let's get started. Okay, so Vinyasa flow means that we're going to be constantly moving. If you are looking for a slow stretch, this is not the yoga video to do. If you're looking for a slow stretch, just search YogaByCandace Restorative or YogaByCandace Yin Yoga, and that will be the perfect style of yoga for you. This Vinyasa flow means that we are going to be constantly moving, linking our breath with our movement. So just have it in mind that you are not going to hold any static stretches here. You're really going to be flowing. That's what Vinyasa is. It's a flow. So let's start. I'm going to sit on my shins, but you can sit however feels good for you. Bring your hands in your lap and cup your left hand in your right. Then roll your shoulders back. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth with a sigh. And then just take a second to connect with your breath. So 3 deep breaths here. In through your nose, out through your nose. Maybe setting an intention for your practice. And then when you're ready, quietly opening up your eyes and inhaling, lifting your arms up overhead, reach all the way up as high as you can, and then maybe just kind of shimmy side to side, just finding a little space into the side body. From here, interlace your fingers at the top. Bring the arms out in front of you. Round your back. Tuck your chin towards your chest. And then inhale, open up like you're going in for a big hug, and bring your left fingertips down to the ground. Lift your right arm up overhead. And then take it to the other side. And come back to center. We are going to find our way onto all fours, bringing your wrists, elbows, and shoulders in one long line, spreading the fingertips, digging into the mat like you're a rock climber, so press in with your fingertips. Bring your knees about hip distance, feet directly back behind you, and then curl your toes like I'm doing. So the top of your foot isn't on the mat, it's actually the bottoms of the toes that are on the mat. From here, inhale, lifting your head and your tailbone, look up. As you do, breathe into your front body, and then exhale, push the ground away. And you can even play with kind of rocking forward and backward. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, pressing and rounding your back. Breathing into the space in between your shoulder blades. Inhale, lift, exhale, press. Moving as slow or as fast as feels good for you. And then from here, come to a flat back. And then as you inhale, lift your head, tailbone, and right foot. Spread the toes. Then as you exhale, press the ground away. Bring your knee in towards your forehead. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press. And then set the knee down. And take it to the other side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press. And from here, find your way into a plank position. So for plank, you want to have a little bit of a round in your upper back. So it's the difference between this and this. Here I'm kind of sinking into my shoulders. You don't want that, so push the ground away. Activate your legs, make your quads nice and strong, and then use your toes to kind of send yourself forward and backward here. And using your hips, rise up for downward facing dog. First one of the day, so make any movements you need to. Bend your knees, shake your head, And find your way slowly into stillness. Take 3 deep breaths here. Spinning your inner thighs up towards the sky, letting your head hang heavy. As you inhale, lift your right leg high, spread the toes. Step the right foot to the front of the mat. Rise up for warrior 1. So left foot about 45 degrees. Hands to your heart. Inhale, lift. Look up. Exhale, hands come down. Just the fingertips are on the mat. And from here, use back body strength to lift your left leg as high as you can. And then step your feet together, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Fingertips on the ground. Step back for warrior 1 on the other side. Press into the outer edge of your right foot, making sure that foot is fully on the ground. Hands to your heart. Inhale, lift. Reach high. Exhale, fingers come down to the ground. Using back body strength to lift your right leg as high as you can before stepping the feet together. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Now for your forward fold, you want to have your belly against your thighs. So if you need to bend your knees a lot, that's fine. Belly against thighs is the goal. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. From here, place your hands on the ground. Step back to plank pose. Use your toes to send yourself forward. Lower down halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Just the hands and the tops of the feet are on the mat. When you're ready, roll over your toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg high. Spread the toes, push the ground away. Step forward to the front of the mat with your left foot, turning your right foot so you're coming into warrior 2. Check out your right foot and just make sure that the outer edge is parallel to the short edge of the mat. Long and strong here with your arms. Hips are even. Try not to kind of tilt with your pelvis. Hips nice and even. Look out over your left middle finger. And when you're ready, float right fingertips to your thigh. Lift your left arm up and breathe into your side body. Then windmill your arms down, stepping back for plank. Going right into downward facing dog. Inhaling and lifting your right leg high, spread the toes. Step right foot to the front of the mat. Turn onto the right side here. So now looking at the outer edge of your left foot, making sure it's parallel to the short edge of your mat. Arms long and strong, hips are even. Float left fingertips to left thigh, lift your right arm up. And then windmill your arms down, stepping back into plank. Once you're in plank, use your toes to send yourself forward. Come down halfway, elbows straight back behind you. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale onto your toes, bend your knees, look between your thumbs and hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms up overhead, reach as high as you can. Exhale, woo, hands to your heart. Come to the very top of your mat if you're not already. Feet together, knees together, roll your shoulders back. Sink your hips low for chair pose. From here, bring your arms up overhead, sink a little lower. Try not to arch your back. Nice neutral back. Most of the weight is in your heels. You should be in your heels. Most of the weight is in your heels. You should be able to glance down and see your first few toes. From here, rise up onto the balls of your feet and slowly come all the way down until you are seated on the ground. Once you're there, rise up into boat pose, however you want to do that. You can have your toes on the mat, legs out in front with shins parallel, or press out through the bottoms of your feet, pressing the big toe mounds together and spreading the toes. From here, bring your hands together, turn your shoulders to the right as far as you can, and then shoulders to the left. Shoulders to the right. Shoulders to the left. One more time each side. Shoulders to the right. Shoulders to the left. Arms out in front, slowly lower down. Arms back behind you in line with your ears. Head, shoulders off the mat, legs extended 45 degrees. When you're ready, scissor up to a seated position, cross at the ankles, and then you're going to jump back into plank pose. So it'll look like this. Here you are, scissoring up, jumping back, plank, lowering down. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Go at your own pace, do what works for you. On your next inhale, lift your right leg as high as you can. Step the right foot to the front of the mat. Coming into high lunge here. So high lunge just means that your hips are even and facing forward. Your left heel's off the ground. On your next inhale, we're going to bend the elbows and the back knee and come to stand on the right foot at the top of the mat with the knee out in front of us. So it'll look like this. Deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale. Here you are. Once you're here, cross left ankle over right thigh. Try not to arch your back too much. Keep the left toe spread. And inhale, rise to stand. Dive forward, coming into half moon pose. So half moon, we'll have the hips stacked, the left leg long and strong, left arm up. You can glance down or out to the side, or if you want more of a challenge, glance up. You also have the option of bending that back leg and grabbing hold of the foot. When you're ready, we're going to float back slowly to Warrior Two. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Then from here, we're going to windmill the arms down. We're not going to do a vinyasa here. You'll just go into plank pose and then right into downward facing dog. So plank, right into downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here. Inhale, lift your left leg high, spread the toes, push the ground away. Step the left foot to the front of the mat for high lunge. Inhale, rise up with the arms. Exhale, sink low. Deep breath in. Exhale, bend elbows and back knee. Inhale, come to stand at the top. Crossing right ankle over left thigh. Breathing. Right toes are spread. Inhale, rise up, swan dive forward, coming into half moon on the other side. So I like putting just my fingertips on the ground and kind of using the arm, like I visualize that the arm is kind of like a straw, which I know sounds a little weird. Bend your leg if you'd like. But it helps to keep the energy moving up so you're staying nice and light and lifted. Sometimes I find if you press your entire palm onto the ground, you tend to sink into the palm and then you're more likely to kind of fall over. So the fingertips and having this visualization of kind of sucking up from the earth helps to balance a little better. When you're ready, slowly drop back into Warrior Two. Full breath in and full breath out. And then when you're ready, we're gonna windmill the arms down, going into plank and then right into downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here. Inhale onto your toes, bend your knees, look between your thumbs, quietly hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. From here, rise all the way up, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart as you sink low for Utkatasana, chair pose. And then come to stand. From here, find your way to the back of the mat. Lift your arms up overhead, look up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take a big step forward with your left foot. And then from here, you're gonna look at your right foot and just turn it so the outside edge of your right foot is parallel to the short edge of your mat. You're gonna come into triangle pose here. So you may need to take a bigger step forward with your front foot. Open up the arms, and then when you're ready, come forward with the upper body only, and then turn your arms to 6 and 12. Try to get your upper body in line with your lower body. So imagine that your right shoulder is kind of in line with your hips. You should feel a really good stretch from the top of the hip all the way through the side body. You should also feel it in your inner thigh, the left leg. If it's too much on your neck to look up at your right thumb, just look down at your left thumb. When you're ready, look down and rise up. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, so step back. I'm going to come here so I can face you. Step forward with your right foot, left foot, outer edge, parallel to the short edge of your mat. Big step forward with that front leg. Activate this quad by picking up the knee. Open up the arms, look out over your right middle finger. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, come forward with your upper body as far as you can. When you can't go any further, take your arms to 12 and 6. You have a few options here. You can bring your hand to your shins. You can take your peace fingers around the big toe, fingertips to the inside arch, whatever feels good for you. And when you're ready, rise up, bend your leg, and step back. You're going to come now to a seated position, whatever is comfortable for you, and I'll meet you there. So in this seated position, I want you to take your right leg out in front of you and locate the edge of your mat. You want to have your shin parallel to the edge of the mat here. So once you've kind of found that positioning, you're going to take your left leg and bring the ankle on top of the knee. If your hips are very tight, your knee is going to be up like this. That's not a problem. It just means you're tight. So you need to work on it. If you are more open, your knee is going to come down on top of your right ankle. So wherever you are, look down and make sure that you are seeing a triangle. The pelvis will be the apex of your triangle, and your shins will kind of be the base of the triangle. So if you are seeing a funky triangle, just kind of push into your hands and move your hips until you've got a good triangle. Once you are here, bring your fingertips down. If you are very, very tight through your legs and hips, you're going to feel something immediately. Just stay there. If you don't really feel that much, walk your fingers out in front of you until you feel something, and then you might want to pause and breathe through it and then continue moving. If you're very, very open, your chest will be able to come down to the ground, and we will all be envious of your hip opening abilities. Wherever you are, just relax into it. Let wherever you are be okay and be enough. Don't berate yourself if you are super tight or not where you want to be. Just breathe. So what I always try to encourage people to do is, as they're breathing, Just find a little bit of movement, whether it's side to side like I'm doing, just subtle little bit of movement. This is gonna help you open up and kind of relax into it. It's gonna facilitate better movement as you create space in those tight areas of your body. The breath is super important. So full deep breaths in, full breaths out. This is a great pose if you're trying to open the psoas. So really good for people who are bikers, runners, hikers, skiers. From here, slowly walk your fingertips back. Gently release the top leg and take it to the other side. So locate the edge of the mat, the shin is parallel. Right ankle stacks on top of the knee, and if you're really tight, your knee will be up like this. If not, your knee will be down. Then just look down and make sure you've got some semblance of a triangle. And if you don't, press into your hands and kind of find your way into a triangle. From here, fingertips come down. Maybe you're just gonna stay here for now, that's okay. Or maybe you'll walk your fingers out until you find a good stretch. You might find that one side of your body is tighter than the other. That's totally normal. Just pay attention to what you do off the mat that's making you tight. So if you're always sitting at your desk and you always cross your left leg over your right versus your right over your left, maybe it's time to start crossing right over left, or maybe just stop crossing your legs. They always say that the second you want to get out of the pose is the time that you really need to stay in the pose for a few more seconds. So kind of keep that in mind, that this discomfort is really like your growing pains. This is how you become more flexible. And you always want to differentiate between what's uncomfortable and what is actually pain. So if you're in pain, stop. But if you are simply uncomfortable, then just breathe through it. When you're ready, rise up. Gently release. And then we'll turn here and slowly find our way onto our backs. Once you're there, bring your knees into your chest, hands wrap around the shins, just gently rock side to side. You'll have to excuse this outside noise. I'm near a busy street. From here, bring your legs down, and we'll end here in Shavasana. So feet about mat distance, hands can be on your belly or out to your side about 45 degrees away from you. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, just let go of your intentional breathing and let your breathing come on its own. Settling in here, we'll be here for about 5 minutes, and I'll let you know when the time is up. When you're ready, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, and slowly find your way into a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands to your heart. Take a deep breath in. Closing your eyes, just taking a second to feel gratitude for your health and your commitment to your practice. Reconnect with your intention once again. And when you're ready, seal in your practice. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. I'll do my best to be in touch. And if you're interested in ordering my book, Namaste, you can do it at Amazon or Barnes & Noble.